to do a power ranking after week 11. I know it's a day late. I usually do this on Mondays. Let's talk about the tier ones in our league. I thought Sky Garrett's gonna easily get the first place, but our league is pretty top heavy. The top teams is pretty good. YP obviously has to be in the tier one after this week. Same thing. Although I think he got a free win last week, but leader Dreamshakers beat Sky Gary. So all three teams are in tier one. We got 3 weeks left. There is you get some money back if you are the first in the regular season. You don't get anything for being second in the regular season. So this is it's obviously you gotta go for the first spot. I think YP's gotta play Sky Gary one more time. No, let me see the schedule real quick. Okay. Let me see. That will be. I think that's probably. Yeah, they play next week. So that might have determined who is going to be the first. I think, in my opinion. But obviously, leader is also really strong. Who is leader gonna play? The next. Just gonna quickly take a look. Where's Dream Shakers? Okay. Gonna get a free win this week. Probably gonna win next week. Yeah. Leader might just win out the next 3 weeks. So I don't think anybody's gonna beat YP either. So I think it's gonna depend on if YP loses to Sky Gary that 1 week. Leader probably gonna get the first. By the looks of it, Sky Gary probably not gonna get the first place, which has been he lost 2 weeks in a row. Has some injuries going on, but I believe his team. I have to bet my money on all health. He's still the #1 team. Although he traded away Valanciunas for Robert Covington. But Valanciunas is such a big rebound guy, could hurt his rebounding a little bit. So let's talk about the best team in the league after week 11. YP's team, this guy's team is... we know what this team is good at. It's good at points, and assist, and a lot of threes, right? Terry Rozier's been making a lot. Wow, that's why he's ranking so high. 3.4 threes a game. He actually doesn't have that many threes. 2.5, yeah, but there are a lot of guys on the waiver wire can hit 2.5 threes a game. So it's mainly, I would say, the biggest strength is assists and points. But the assists, he doesn't have a guy that's even averaging over 7 assists a game. So it's everybody chips in a little bit. I don't know. This team has been pretty healthy all season long, and a lot of the guys on his team have benefited from injuries from other players. Like once Ernest Cantor gets hurt, this team doesn't have that many rebounds, and this team doesn't have a lot of steals. In my opinion, Thaddeus Young, yes, but this guy is losing minutes. Terry Rozier, a guy who's averaged 1 steal, So obviously this guy has no blocks either, and a lot of turnovers. I'm not too high on this team. I think versus both leader and what's his name, Sky Gary. I think even though this team is currently #1, I don't know. And guys like Norman Powell, Thaddeus Young, just overperforming, huge. Ernest Cantor, not necessarily say them overperform, but these guys getting opportunities at the moment, but they could lose a lot of their values just like 2 weeks from now. Norman Powell, everybody on the Raptors is injured. He's averaging 19 points on the season, right? In the past month or so, the guy's averaging past week averaging 26 points. Once those numbers come down, I don't know. Let's talk about enough with this team. I think let's talk about Dream Shakers team, right? Why this team, I think right now could challenge Sky Gary, honestly, because he's got a lot of rebound right now at the moment. I think Kevin Love is probably a drop. he probably cannot win. I think versus YP, since they're the top three teams, I was just talking about path to victory. So Leader's gonna win all the big man categories. So he either needs to win assists or he needs to win steals, right? I think Leader can beat. Just drop some guys with low steal numbers. Tatum's a pretty good steals guy. I mean, both teams, none of those guys good big steals guys, in my opinion. But it's probably 50-50. And if Leader can win assist, Leader's got a couple guys that can assist. But yeah, I think when Leader plays YP, it comes down to steals for the most part. For Scott Gary, I think Leader could potentially, compete in that rebound category. Now that Scott Gary traded away his rebound, and Scott Gary, I mean, playing either YP or it's I would say 60% win. He lost couple week. He lost lately because he's got injuries going on. Bam was out, OG was out. Drew Holiday was underperforming quite a bit, coming back from COVID. And Pirtle, I mean, I think Pirtle is gonna be pretty strong. Could be a potentially top 50-60 guy due to his high block numbers. He could grab you 9 rebound and 2 blocks, and really good field goal guy. I mean, guy is really bad in free throw, but that doesn't really matter because Scott Gary is punting those, right? He can even get you some steals as well as a center. Had a huge game last game, obviously, but I think this guy could be. It fits perfectly on his team, and obviously Jokic, yeah. Nerlens Noel is gonna, he's got a couple guys could potentially lose values when people coming back, but I think it's just only Nerlens Noel and Dylan Wright. I mean, yeah, but he could just drop them once OG comes back. Yeah, I think he still had most steals on the team. Maybe my team can compete in that category. Most blocks, I think. Rebound wise, he still got a lot of rebound, right? Clint Capella, Jokic, and then Ben Simmons, Bam, still got the most rebound. So I mean, he lost last week, sure, but I think if we have to play it over with all the guys healthy. I think he probably would won last week. Just had some injuries, but hey, I mean anything can happen, right? If Capella is out in the playoffs, then he may not. He probably can't win blocks versus Leader. If you can pick up another guy off the waiver wire that can give you a bunch of rebounds, then yeah, sure, it's possible. So this is the tier 1 teams. Tier 2 is, just probably not going to win the ship, but could potentially. I think a lot of the teams could, I'll probably put Wabay's team tier 3 because Drummond. If Drummond can find a home, play 35 minutes, sure. So I'm going to put actually some of the bottom teams, like I'll put Horky's team, Lian's team, and my team. I think we all could potentially, because I think we can beat, all 3 teams are guard teams. Like we could all beat YP's team, to be honest with you. Sky Gary may be my team because I have so many steals, but Lian and Horky's team probably cannot beat Sky Gary. But I think all 3 guard teams can beat YP. Let's just go into each one. I think Horky's team could potentially beat YP because he could be better in, other than points, Horky can win those full guard stats, and YP doesn't have that many blocks either. Horky, if anything, probably has more blocks. He's got Draymond Green, Fred VanVleet. If you pick up a couple block guys, you never know. Horky might win. And also points wise, Horky's picked up Dylan Brooks. He's picked up D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell come back. If average 25 points, hey, he could compete points with YP, right? And yeah, I think Horky has more threes than YP. All these guys shooting 3-4 threes a game, so more assists. For example, more assists, more steals for sure. Better free throw, a lot of free throw anchors, right? A lot of free throw anchors. So I think playing YP, you could potentially just beat YP. If YP's got some injuries, yeah, sure. If not, it's 50-50, fully healthy. And I think Lian's team also. I think Sky Gary countered his team because he's a guard team with little steals, little defensive stats. Although you got Larry Nance, if he can average like 1.6, 1.7, that'll be good enough. Although lately the steals have been falling off quite a bit, coming back from injury. But yeah, if he plays YP, right, I think it's just it's gonna be bad because YP may not even win assist, right? YP assist still blocks, I would say 50-50. He's got more points, to be honest, when Damian Lillard comes back. Sorry, CJ McCollum comes back. He already put this guy out of the. He's gonna have more points than YP, unless Norman Powell is gonna still average 30 points a game, right? If he wants to win points, just drop a couple of guys. He's gonna win points. He has the most points in the league. I'm pretty sure he's got Damian Lillard. He's got Bradley Beal, like two guys averaging 30, and then he's got Vucevic. He's got CJ McCollum, both average 25 points. Yeah, YP's got a couple guys average 20 points compared to a 30-point scorer. That's a big difference. So yeah, like he can win rebounds as well because he's got Vucevic, right? He's got John Collins. He's probably a better field goal team than YP's. So I think YP is gonna struggle massively with against Lian's team. Like if they play in the first round, if I have to bet my money, I'd probably bet on Lian's, to be honest. So I think those two, us three teams, like I mean, depend on the matchup, right? I actually think any of these teams can make it all the way, win it all the way, right? So actually those three teams in the tier 2, I think also Kawhi Leonard's lab could potentially win it all as well. So I'll put it in the tier 2 as well. This team is strong because I don't know why he put Darius Basley. He sucks. But this team, the core, right? Karl Anthony Towns, Miles Turner, Kawhi Leonard, Rashawn Holmes. This team's build is a little bit interesting. Efficient and a lot of blocks. A lot of defensive stats and got a lot of threes as well. So, some assists as well. So I think this team could potentially, if I'm thinking about if he plays Sky Gary, sure got a lot of blocks, right? If picking up the right guy could potentially win blocks. Or rebound, although I doubt the rebound department. I doubt the rebound. If plays YP. YP's team is pretty he's probably gonna play YP. He's gonna lose points. He's gonna lose threes maybe. But everything else, I don't know. Would be, he's gonna have more rebound. He's gonna have more blocks. He's gonna have more steals. He's gonna win turnover. He's gonna win field goal probably, and that's it. He already wins. So yeah, I think this team could also potentially win it all. And then the tier 3s, I don't think they can make the playoffs, but probably not gonna win it all. And there's already 3 teams out of the playoffs in my opinion. Team Vignicius team, Team Will, and King Sheep. Yeah, not gonna talk about that. It's basically between Horky, Lee, and Triple Double Noise and Moon Dust. One of those 3 teams is gonna make the playoffs. Nate Robinson, Daniel, and Walkby. Those are the 2 teams I think currently ranking wise pretty good, but I just don't know if they can win on Walkby's team. Embiid is hurt, but should be back before the playoffs. But Andre Drummond can't drop this guy. This guy is too good to drop. What are you gonna do with him, right? If this guy can get traded somewhere, play 35 minutes, 30 to 35, yes, I think Walkby could potentially win it all, right? He's really strong in the rebound department, right? He could potentially challenge Sky Gary, right? Just drop guys like Patty Mills and Josh Jackson. He should have full rebound. Drop guys like Tim Hardaway Jr., right? Those guys have very little rebound. Pick up some rebound guys. He could potentially challenge Sky Gary in that category. And against YP, he's going to win almost all the big man stats. And just going to win one of the guard stats. Maybe steals, Maybe steals. But I just don't think, without Andre Drummond, this team probably is going to struggle pretty hard. And Daniel's team is pretty. He's got a pretty good team, but I don't think, is he playing? Okay, he said his lineup, so that's good. Yeah, he's playing. He's on a roll actually. He won like 5 straight weeks. Giannis has been playing really, really well, but I think this team currently is constructed. I don't know. He's got a lot of rebounds, sure, but I don't know. I don't know what this team is good at. It has some points, has some threes, but the efficiency because of Giannis is gonna lose free throw. But then Giannis is like the only guy. Everybody else is pretty good with free throw, and he's still holding Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon is obviously a drop. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks, and Pascal Siakam is also out. He did not put them in order. So I don't know. Daniel is sending the lineups. I don't know how much he's playing, so I don't think he's gonna win it all. So at this point, I think even though like middling like Daniel and Wapai, I don't think those two teams can win it all at the moment. I think Sky Gary, Dream Shaker, Team Baltimore, obviously it's a 3-team race. Any one of them could win it all potentially, but YP is gonna struggle massively against any of the guard teams if he plays them, and I think Sky Gary pretty much gonna beat everybody, just because his team construction. I wouldn't bet against him. Doesn't matter who he plays, right? And I think Sky Gary is gonna, if he does end up being the 3rd seed and Team Baltimore ends up being 1st, if they meet in the finals, I just bet my money on Sky Gary's team. I don't know how you can beat him, because YP's strength is the points, is the threes, is the assist maybe. Free throw not even that great, But Sky Gary, YP has no shot of beating Sky Gary in field goal. In rebound, no way in hell. Steals, no way in hell. Blocks, no way. And maybe Sky Gary's team all of a sudden start turning the ball over like crazy. Right? Let's see. He does have Ben Simmons. Could potentially throw him and ban this season 3, but he's got 3 guys averaging 3 turnovers, but everybody else is like under 2. Yeah, everybody else is under 2. I don't think YP is ever gonna win turnovers versus this team. So that's it. That's pretty much it. That's the end of the story for YP. Leader could potentially challenge you in blocks and rebound category. He just needs to win 1 versus Sky Gary. But this team, I don't know. Not biased on anything. I think this team just running so good this season. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, that's and Karis LeVert doesn't help his team. He picked up Karis LeVert. I just don't think he helps team. Gave a little bit assists and gave a little bit steals, but negative everywhere else, right? All right, that's it for all the games. That's it for the power ranking. I'll see you guys next week.